Well, guys, Game 5 is in the books, and even though we didn't come out with a win, really, from a coach's perspective, I think this was the best game we played. I know, they ended up getting more points than us in the end, but the things we asked you to do, I think you perform those activities the best in this game than you have in the previous game, and that's great. You're learning from week to week what to do, and then when we have this extra tough competition, you're stepping up your game, and that was great to see. Um, and I'm very proud of you. And hopefully you don't take the loss that we had and get you down, because, like I said, we knew it was going to be tough, and we hung with them. And I don't know if you've heard this or not, but we were the closest game they've had this season. All the other games they had, they were beating the other team by so much that the fourth quarter it was a continuous clock. They never had to. It was the rules where if you up by a certain amount, the clock keeps going. There's no stopping a clock. We're the first game that didn't happen for them. So, you know, we were able to limit their scoring by quite a bit from what they usually get. I think one of the teams that we end up beating, that team ended up beating them by more than 40 points. So, they usually hand it to these teams, and we just stuck with it. We got our usual amount of points, and then we just couldn't keep their points down low enough to get a win, but we kept them down substantially what they normally score. So I'm very proud of you. All right, let's go with our stars. I'll go in reverse alphabetical order. So let's start with Wilson. Wilson, you had a tough job running point this week. A lot of the game. You take the leadership on the court when you run that. You bring it down. You try to get everybody to kind of go the direction they need to go. Kind of move the ball around. That's asking a lot out there, especially with tough defense against you. But you did that. You drove to the basket a lot and tried to get. You got shots off. Scored at least one basket or so out of all those, but you kept shooting. Grabbed rebounds. You were there for the rebounds a lot, and getting steals and deflections, and grabbing those jump balls, being in there and doing what you need to do to get those jump balls to help get the ball back in our possession, or at least keep the other team from scoring. So that's great. So, but again, how you handled yourself out there, I'm going to sum that up and give you the Christ-like award this week for you, Wilson. Thank you. Next, we're going to have Mason. Mason, you had another great week out there. You gave it your all. I think you had the most rebounds everybody, coming in at 8. You're always in there, throwing your muscle around, getting up there, trying to get position, grab the ball, and that's what we're asking for you. I love that. And then you got some steals in there. You got the deflections to help us get the ball, grabbing that jump ball when it's in front of you, getting the free throws, shooting free throws. You got to get a basket, and even just you players that actually got some fouls this game. Even though we kind of asked everybody just to be more aggressive and get more fouls. The fouls you did get was because you're doing the correct amount of aggressiveness. Trying to get that rebound, you end up, maybe being a little bit over the back. That's fine. We're working on that. I love that energy. So, just being that aggressive player out there really makes a difference for us, and I really appreciate that. So because of all that, this week, Mason, you're going to get the effort award. Thanks, Mason. Next, Jimmy. Jimmy, another great game of energy from you. You're hustling on both ends of the court. You're helping, you're really starting to anticipate where the passes are, where to be for the ball, and that's really helping out, because you're either being in the way for the other player, getting deflections, getting the steals, getting your hands on the ball just enough to break up the plays. Those are awesome plays. Getting your basket, that was awesome. I love that. Getting rebounds, again, being smaller and grabbing those rebounds, very impressive, and I love that. You got your steals, deflections, and then, I said the hustle you're doing. I don't know if you watched the video that I sent out, but I was shocked more than I'd realized during watching regulars how many times you end up on the floor because of your hustle. Getting knocked down because you're in the mix of a big pile up, and you get knocked down from there, trying to get a rebound. Somebody bigger than you kind of knocks you down, but that doesn't stop you. You get up again and you keep on going. Because of that, again, Jimmy, you get the effort award. Thanks, Jimmy. Ethan. You also had a very nice rebounding game. You're doing a good job listening of how to get those rebounds, either getting a tip to somebody else to get the rebound to help to keep the ball alive, or even just grabbing that rebound yourself and taking control, and that's great. I think you may have like 7 rebounds with this game. steals, deflections, you got those in there too. The court awareness and trying to make sure the movement of the ball goes good. You and Cooper, I think during one of the plays, it wasn't the perfect run because it was a little bit of the defense get a tip in there, but you guys still ran the play number 4 where you get the ball and you give it to Cooper as he goes by. He made a layup and that was great. And then just being there for their team on defense, offense, and just helping keeping their defender, or when they're coming down the court, being the defender to try to stop them. I saw it a couple times. Again, when I watched the video, some stuff I don't catch first time around, and I was very happy to see all that. But again, being the great teammate out there and doing all the work that you do and trying to get everybody involved, you're going to get the Sportsmanship Award. I appreciate that, Ethan. Thank you. Next, Eli. So Eli, you got, again, using your height and your toughness, you're able to get some of those rebounds. You got several rebounds this game, some steals, deflections, again, right where we need you. Got a great outside shot there, not quite a three-pointer, but it was close. It was pretty far out there. So you got, I think, a couple baskets there. That one layup, that awesome layup you had on a fast break. I believe it was maybe Wilson that gave it to you. But it was a great fast break. You got that thing and you got it just up in time before heading underneath that basket. And that's great ball handling skill, and I love to see that. But anyway, just seeing you move around now, learning more of the plays, how to be court awareness on the game, and just, where you need to be as a player keeps improving, and we love to see that. So with all that combined, Eli, we're going to give you the defense award because of knowing where you need to be on the court, both offense and defense, and helping us get the ball and get to the other side of the court, and just disrupting the plays. And I just really appreciate that. So this week, Eli, you get the defense award. Daniel. So Daniel, you had a good game with all your effort, and I saw you put a lot of body on the players on defense. We're asking you to make sure you keep them out of the play, and I saw you doing that a lot. You even got a foul because you're hustling out there and trying to be strong out there on defense. So I, again, appreciate that. But then on the other side of things, you're getting rebounds, you're getting steals, and you had a nice rebound that followed up, and you turned and shot that almost like a fadeaway shot, and you made your basket, and that was great. So Daniel, with the effort you gave, specifically on the offensive end this week, I'm going to give you the offense award. Good job, Daniel. Cooper. So Cooper, again, kind of like I mentioned to Wilson, you had to do a lot of work out there for on point guard, trying to handling the other team's tough defense, but also trying to defend their tough point guards that we knew they had. You did get rebound, you got a steal, got a couple baskets to go with that. But again, the level of hustle that you gave this game, I was really, really impressed with. You got the tough assignments, but you're still running hard out there. And, when you got tired, you say you need to come out. That's perfectly fine. That's what I like to see, is that you're pushing yourself so hard that when the player says, you know what, I pushed myself so much, I just need a quick break, we'll get you out, get you back in there. That was great. But, you helped disrupt some of the passes, being in the right spot of that, trying to read those passes on defense. So with that, Cooper, I'm going to give you the defense award for this week. Good job, Cooper. And last, Benjamin. Benjamin, your hustle out there was great again this week. I loved seeing that. You get the ball, you're bringing it down, taking some of the ball handlers' positions in these games, and I like to see that. That's definitely a part of your game that we're bringing out this year. But being persistent on the court, on the defense and offensive end, you have that never give up attitude out there. That ball of energy, always trying to be a part of the play. Not wanting to watch things happen, but always being part of it. And, even getting the rebounds you got in the game, just, with the size, still be able to get in there and get that rebound. So just the attitude you keep out there, again, all the energy, the positiveness, everything, we're going to sum that up and give you the Christ-like award this week. Thanks, Benjamin. All right, so just a little summary of, let's call it the things that went well this week, things I really liked. Overall, the hustle. Like I said, this team was tough. We knew going in we're going to have to step up our game, and we did. They are used to scoring a lot more points. We held them down a lot, and a lot of that's just our hustle. And I warned you about that fast breaks. They like to get it and release and go. And if you watch that video, we had a lot of you guys running full speed after them. And that's what I kind of missed in previous games. We weren't really seeing. This time, I saw you guys sprinting as fast as you can to get down there. And a lot of times, it disrupted their layups just enough that at least they didn't get the initial shot in. Maybe they had a rebounder that got a second shot in. But you know what? That hustle that we gave to chase down those fast breaks, it was very impressive. I loved it. I'm still out there and I'm yelling, run and chase him, get him, get him, get him. I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm trying to pep you up to get it out of that, and you guys stepped up and did it good. I'm very happy how that turned out. And the other thing I'd like to talk about that I was actually impressed with, and it didn't work every time, but is our inbounds. If you watch the video, at least one of the times I know for sure when we ran box, it worked perfectly. The only thing is our shot didn't go in at the end, but again, that doesn't matter. I mean, it'd be great if it did, but the idea that you guys were able to run box, everybody had their position, went perfectly. The defense did exactly what the box is intended to do. Their defenders followed our guards out to the sides, and then when our screen went around for the post players, the defense followed. And then on that one, Mason, I think it was, came around and was open perfect for that pass and got that shot off. That's the way our plays are supposed to work. And you can see if everybody does what they're supposed to and defense does what's expected a defense to do, it just works. I love that. And then the other part of it is when we tried to do high stack, that threw off the other team quite a bit because they're used to most of the plays being down low. When we ran a high stack, you can see their guard, Nick, was actually trying to tell people where to go because they were just following us and confused where they should be because we're up high. They were starting to all follow us up high, try to figure out where to be, and he was trying to tell them, no, you guys need to come back and be ready for it here. But we messed them up. They weren't ready. When we ran it, we got the ball in. We almost had a nice clean shot. It actually worked out that we may need to use that when we actually want to get a three-pointer because that worked out well that Cooper did go toward that sideline, did get the ball, didn't quite get the three-pointer off, but overall, it went really well. So we're definitely going to keep a high stack in our gameplay. So I want to say that really went well. I'm proud of you guys for pulling it off. It's another great thing that worked this week. The other part is our Brooklyn zone. Without our zone, I don't think we would have kept them that close this week. And thinking back, for those of you who played last year, when we played this team last year, I was kicking myself after the game that I didn't have us do the zone. We really didn't have it really in our toolbox too much. We played with it, but we didn't really use it yet. But it was one of the things that I realized because we tried to do man-to-man, and when we do man-to-man for a team that has that kind of skill, if the person that's trying to guard, let's say the main ball handler, they lose the guy, you're not really set up really well for the help defense. With zone, as long as we cover those areas, the matchups don't matter as much as long as we cover the area, and that's how zone really helped us this week. And you guys did really well. Our trapping didn't really pull off the turnovers as it normally would because, again, they knew what they were doing with the ball, but it really slowed them down that they couldn't make an easy shot because we were very swarming, so I could use that word, a swarming defense, where as soon as somebody got it, we had at least two people that kind of got on them, and none of the two people kind of got them on the way up there. So we kept it so they didn't feel like they ever had a good open shot a lot of the time. So, again, great job on doing the zone. And then fighting for rebounds. And you can always get more rebounds, but I saw a lot of effort in this game on rebounds that wasn't there in the previous games. Maybe they don't all end in clean rebounds, but you're getting tips on the ball. Everybody's getting in there and trying to do what they want to. They had some tall players, and sometimes it went to them, and we couldn't do anything about it. We still got to work on kind of pushing them out a little bit more with our back ends, but I saw a lot more fight to get in there and get a rebound, and I really love that. So, again, a lot of good things went well this week, despite not getting the win. I was very proud of how all that went. There are a few things I just want to talk quickly on that we want to work on. Some of this is just trying to keep us developing into a better team. You guys getting more knowledge on the court, being more comfortable, and that's what only has to come in play when doing this. So first one is being more under control on offense. Our offense this week was a lot of just screening and not having any kind of plan. And I do like the fact that you guys use some screens, but it was a lot of just screening and then dribbling, not seeing what's going to do, and then do another screen, not know what it's going to do. If we just slow down a little bit and space out and do some passes that we know should work, and then from that pass, develop something instead of just a lot of random stuff out there. I think we still have a lot we could do with that. I know, that's, you get to high school, college, that stuff just has, that's right on the books. Most of you are not even in middle school yet. So it's still got, it's asking a lot, but I know you guys, if we start working on that, it'll look really nice when you're out there that you could pull this off. And if we can do it, we'll score a lot of good baskets. So I would like you to work on making those clean passes. And just to, let's say, toot the horn of the other team, there was one clip when I was just looking through the video of how the other team kind of ran almost our 1-3-1 offense a little bit, but they had the high post and they had kind of that triangle for the wing. They did a good job of just setting up, passing that ball around, moving it, and when the one person got it on the wing, just did a nice little fake, dribble, and then did a pump fake and got a shot off. Those are the kind of things, that type of play we can do. We just got to be a little more under control, and each player kind of sees, here's what could happen when I get the ball. And that's what I like us to get to before the end of the season. I really like to see kind of that type of stuff happening instead of just a lot of random stuff, which I know will happen at some point. But so the only other thing with that is we need to be a little less dribbling. We got ourselves a little dribble happy, just driving to the basket. We got 3 defenders coming on us and we're still driving into them. At that point, there's plenty of passes we could do. We don't need to keep driving in until we got like 2 or 3 people just crowding on us and keep trying to drop our head down and dribble. Keep your head up. Let's look for the pass. Watch the game. You did probably see the other team have their head up and they got some good passes in because they play together a lot on competitive teams and stuff like that. So, they're used to that. But you notice that when we're dribbling, we have a couple times when we dribble to the basket, our head is down and we don't see those easy little dish passes instead of driving into defense and getting ourselves caught. So work on that. And then a little bit more on the passing angle. We had a couple times where we're making some poor choices when we're bringing the ball down and passing the ball right around the half court line without realizing the defense is right there. So before you pass, have your head up. Another thing just got my finished mentioning is see the defense and read that pass before you pass it. So you can see he's too close to make that pass. Don't do it, try something else. Instead of just saying there's a player there, I'm gonna pass it and not even looking to see if there's a defender there. So a lot of that just comes to being confident in yourself enough to figure I can dribble. They're not gonna get that by dribble while I'm looking up. A lot of times you're looking down because you're looking to make sure that nobody's getting the ball as I'm dribbling. You gotta feel comfortable enough to dribble. Keep your eyes up. You can glance up, down, up, down, up, down, and then get it and you can pass it or shoot. So simple things that just to keep in your mind, we'll work on. Too bad there's not a whole lot we can do at practices. We'll try to see if I can come up with something to work on. But just for you guys, keep it in mind. Hopefully we can fix those few things. If we play like we did this game, in our next games, we should be wins because we held ourselves really well with this tough team. The other ones can't be this tough. So let's keep going. Proud of you guys. I really recommend you watch that video of the game clips I sent out because there's a lot of interesting stuff you can see there for how you did and maybe even what the other team did and what we could have maybe changed. Thanks, guys.